This is the unofficial official podcast of the Seattle Seahawks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Seahawks are 2-0. Jason Myers is perfect on the season. What a phenomenal Sunday night football game that was. The Seahawks and the Patriots always have a pretty unique way of entertaining the football crowd throughout the world. That was fun. Defensive stand right at the end of the game by the Seahawks D. Man, the offense looks good. We chatted all. The offense looks unbelievable.
Even Myers.
Also, power rankings. Go fuck yourself. Let's do this. Here we go.
I will put $100 in the pot if Myers goes perfect for the season. Won't happen.
LJ Collier.
Defensive end, 6'2", 291.
LJ Collier made a hell of a play. Hell of a football play at the end of the game. Jesus. I watched that replay like 6 times, and he just dummies the guy in front of him. Hey, ads, get out the hell out of here. This is bullshit.
What are you doing over there? Watching a movie?
I don't know what the hell is happening here. LJ Collier just dummies the O tackle in front of him and then cuts the legs out of Cam Newton.
It looked like Cam Newton thought he was going 1 yard, not...
I don't know,
like,
yeah.
What was he doing?
Well, okay, it was Collier. So Collier dove at his knees.
Yeah.
And so as Collier was diving at his knees, Cam tried to jump him, but Collier just hit him.
Yeah.
And so he just like went like this on top of him.
It looked so awkward.
Hell of a football play.
How big is Cam Newton?
He's 265.
No, but 6 what?
6'4"?
6',
No.
6'7"?
He's got to be
He's
bigger.
6'7"?
Did you see him over
6'6",
top of Russ
265?
Wilson? He had...
Dude, Russ is like 5'9" and a half.
It looked like insane.
Cam Newton's a monster, man. He's like LeBron size.
He's
You know what I'd like to start this podcast? Oh, I actually have 3 different ways I'd like to start this podcast, so I'm just
thought we
trying
already
to say
started.
them all. Yeah, this is
Then what
Lucas.
are you
This is a
talking about?
podcast. This we just communicate.
But you're
talk.
just saying that you have 3 ways of how you're going to start the podcast. Are we not started already?
Yeah. One of the first things I'd like to talk about is one of these 3 things. Number 1 is LJ fucking Collier making a hell of a football play.
Brilliant. Number 2.
Number 2 is I've had 3 different people in the last 18 hours reach out to me and say
We need to trade Olsen.
they now believe that Russell Wilson is the best player in the league. After me telling them for the last 6 seasons, they now are convinced that Russell Wilson is the best player in the league. After these 2 first.
But were they bandwagon jumpers? Who were they?
No,
who
they're
were
not
they?
Seahawks fans. They're other teams' fans.
But who were they thinking before was the best? Like, he just doesn't get any respect. It's ridiculous.
You know what I heard yesterday?
He gets some respect now.
Russell Wilson, no one has ever voted for him for an MVP. He doesn't have a single MVP vote.
Are you kidding me?
0.
So I was listening to something today. We'll get to your number 3 in a second because you're taking forever to get there. But anyways,
Talking about my number 2. Fuck you.
yeah, I was listening to another station today, and they were talking about the MVP race, and they're like, "Oh, Russell Wilson's finally in the top 3 this week, or of the MVP race." And they're like, "Oh, Josh Allen's doing really." I'm like, "Where are people going?" And then they're like, "Well, if Russell Wilson didn't throw the pick 6," I'm like, "That was not his fault. If Olsen could catch a ball, that wasn't a pick 6. The only thing he didn't do, because I would have done the same, because I wouldn't want Myers to kick a field goal to keep us in the game. He threw a long bomb on the 3rd down, and that was probably not the smartest thing to do. This guy is not moving. That's
I don't know if anybody's watching the Monday Night Football game,
That's
but
not
we
good.
have it on and it does not look good. Let's come back to the podcast. We
Okay.
can give an update on
What's
what
number
happened.
3?
Number 3?
Have we got there yet?
Okay, number 3 is a good one. I'd like to give a shout out to Greg Williams.
Okay.
You're going to say, who's Greg Williams? Greg
you'll
Williams
tell me.
is the defensive coordinator for the New York Jets.
Okay.
And when Jamal Adams was traded to the Seahawks in the offseason, Greg Williams came out and said, Jamal Adams is going to be bored in Seattle. They don't do enough for him. I'd like to just throw out a few stats, if you will. Jamal Adams played for the New York Jets for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
He had 0 winning records. So the Jets are shit. Also, Greg Williams as the defensive coordinator. For the last decade, the Jets have had 1 winning season. So you're telling me that one of the best players in the league is going to have more fun on one of the shittiest teams in the last decade than he is in Seattle winning football games and competing for NFC championships every year.
And is
also
hands down the best in the defense we have right now.
I'm not done yet.
This is the longest
Did you see how much fucking fun this guy is having? Have you seen how much fun this guy's having?
Yes.
He's doing whatever he
unreal.
wants.
He's in
beast
mode.
He's a freak athlete.
Insane.
He's all over the place. But after the game, on that when LJ Collier shut Cam Newton down on the 1-yard line, did you see Adams' reaction? No? Okay, let me tell you. So Adams, like playing safety, he was on the other side of the ball and Cam ran to the right. Adams was on the left, so he wasn't really involved in the play.
Yeah.
But as soon as Collier tackled him, he like was sprinting around, just like running around the field, took his helmet off, like throwing like he won a Super Bowl. Like, Jesus. The kid's having fun, man. I'll tell you that. So Greg, I'd like to say hello. Thank you for sending Adams over here, and you can go fuck yourself. Next.
Well, straight in the camera cart.
Both of them, though. Look at the other guy's head. Look at this, number 20. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Look at this. He just got up and ran away. He's lying down motionless for like 2 minutes and then he just stood up and ran. Weird. Anyway.
Concussions are a hell of a thing.
Oh, I'd also like to address the fact that last week on the Seahawks social, we said we were going to broadcast this game. And that didn't happen, obviously. So I'd like to apologize.
We say a lot of crazy things after a couple of beer.
Yeah, that's true. I know it would be really good and very entertaining, I think, if we do that. And I do really want to do that once this season. We just have to line up our schedules. And Sunday afternoon games are tough. So
do they have any Monday night games?
Maybe when they have, maybe the next primetime game, whether it's a Thursday or a Monday or whatever.
Yeah, I wonder if they have a Monday night game.
Carl, can you look at their schedule quickly?
Carl,
and
what's taking you so long?
Find out. Because this week they play...
These number 1, 2, and 3s have been 17 minutes of this podcast, and you're still looking up their schedule. Carl, what's the schedule? Can I thank you for the beer today?
So much is happening. You're welcome, Lucas.
What's your 1, 2, and 3? At least I fucking come prepared with legitimate things to say. You didn't even know who Greg Williams was.
It's because I don't care about Greg Williams. You know who I care about?
Who?
It's how terrible Myers still is.
11 for 11.
0 field goals.
How upset are you?
They can't even put a ball. They won't even let him kick a field goal. That's how bad he is.
Can you describe the feeling? And I don't want you to talk about the fact that he hasn't kicked many field goals. I don't want you to talk about the fact that Russ just makes plays on 3rd and long to keep the offense on the field.
Okay.
I want you to talk specifically about the feeling that comes over your body every time you get a message from me saying 9 for 9, 10 for 10, 11 for 11.
I just thank my stars. Like, I'm just like, thank the Lord, because what's going to happen?
So it's
the
a feeling
second
of
he misses?
relief.
It's a 100% feeling of relief. 100%. Anyways,
Where would you like to go next, Lucas?
I'm going to let you lead it, because I will
I got
be
lots to say.
scattered all over the board, because there was just the way I think.
I got a lot to say. So last week I made some bold predictions and my computer's fucked up. So it's not working.
Did you predict
So I
that?
can't give you any stats. But last week I made some bold predictions. 1, Seahawks, best offense in the league. That stands true.
Yep.
Anyone that wants to fight me, bring it on. DM me, hit me up, hit Lucas up. Talk to him about Myers, 11 for 11. So best offense in the league, bring it. Let's fucking go. 2, I said Greg Olsen was a good pickup that I thought would fit into the offense well. He had a really, really, really bad game. You expect a rookie to make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
Like he had a really, really important, there was a really important third down late third quarter maybe. And it was just like a stupid false start. And it was like 3rd and 3 and it moved us to 3rd and 8 anyway. And we had to punt after that bullshit. And obviously that play on our first possession of the game, Russell Wilson starts the game looking like goddamn Jesus and hits Olsen in the face mask with a nice out pattern. And
pick six.
Olsen just like volleys it, volleyball style. Whoosh! Just straight up in the air. And obviously someone's going to pick it off. So anyone that's talking about Russell Wilson as having one interception can go fuck themselves, because that is not an interception in my book. That should be like, in baseball, there's errors against different players.
That should be.
Why does that go against the quarterback as an interception?
That should be an interception against, 100%.
You know, like in college, they have stars on their helmets when they do good things.
Oh, they should have a star for every shitty play they've made?
You should get something taken away. You should get something taken away in the NFL.
Like one shoe?
Like something like that for Olsen. Yeah. Next game, you got to play with one glove.
One cleat.
Only one glove. Your left or your right hand, you pick.
One cleat comes off so that by the end of the year, you're just running on bald tires.
Just for one game, though.
Just for one game.
Yeah.
Do you think
that's
they
a
do
big
that?
fuck up?
Do you think they have some kind of internal thing? They must.
You know, like taking away people's shoes? I'm
No,
pretty
Like
sure.
you're
no,
not
no.
wearing
Like-
football pants today, or
Like, if you make a shitty play, you got to put $100 into a pod or something like this for the, I don't know. There's got to be something. Because I feel like I know in some sports they have stuff like that. But
It is fun to talk about. And obviously on this podcast, there's really no repercussions. So like we can say whatever the fuck we want. What I like about the Seahawks is that they're so optimistic and positive all the time. I bet, honestly, I didn't see the reaction of Russell Wilson, but I bet on the sideline, he's going over to Greg Olsen and be like, fuck those guys. You're scoring a touchdown next drive. Or like, I'm as soon as you're open next drive, I'm hitting you in the chest again. That's why he's such a good leader. He's just so optimistic all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize his reaction or see it, but I would assume that's what happened.
he just went back to the sidelines, and then they got the ball back, and they went right down the field and scored a touchdown. It was super simple. They just went right through it. We need to work on our defense, though.
It was kind of
We'll get there.
See, so I slightly disagree with that. And a few reasons. One is we gave them 7 points out of the gate.
Yes.
So take away 7 points.
Yes.
It's 35-23,
Yes.
which is if you're holding one of the, let's say
But
top 5 teams in the AFC. So top 10 teams in the league, right? Patriots, is that safe to say?
It's safe to say, I think so.
Top 5 teams in the AFC. If you're holding them to 23 points every single time you play them, you're probably winning most of those games. Right?
Yeah.
yeah, I
8
don't
out of
like
10 at
when
least.
they're giving Cam Newton, and it could be any quarterback, more than 5 seconds in the pocket to throw a ball. There's going to be so many people open, even for the shitty quarterback in the league. He's going to have time.
We need to pick that apart a little bit then. Because the defense as a whole, I thought, played relatively well. The pass rush is our struggle.
Yes.
Right? And we've noted that from the beginning of the season. We know that's going to be the weakest part of the team. The offensive line, Russell Wilson can make look a little bit better just because of how agile he is in the pocket. The defensive line, it's pretty evident that is the weakest point of our team based on the first 2 weeks. Look at Matt Ryan had 450 yards last week.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton
397.
throws for 397.
Exactly. And then look at the team that's coming up and the amount of points they put up against Atlanta yesterday. So that's scaring me a little bit.
I think,
But not enough to be too nervous about it. But I'm just, and maybe it's too early in the season to really pick them apart too much. I mean, there's been no preseason. You just went straight out there. The conditioning can't be game shape yet. It's got to take some time to have real reps.
we knew that coming into the season though.
No, I know.
And I feel honestly,
We're not nervous yet, but is there if this happens again, third game in a row, are we getting nervous?
I don't really like the term nervous. I like the I've never seen this. I've never really paid attention to an offseason as closely as I did this year, but I've never seen the management side of the Seahawks be this active it seems like something is going on every day.
Yeah.
And already, so Bruce Irvin out for the year, tore his ACL. So Whether he's a great pass rusher or not anymore, like he's late in his career, it doesn't really matter. But he's another guy that is not going to be rushing the quarterback anymore, right?
Yeah.
So our pass rush is getting weaker based on compared to yesterday. So already they're talking about like who's next? How do we get someone else? How do we get someone in? Which is exciting, kind of, because everyone knows that, like, in my mind anyway, and in a lot of Seahawks fans' minds, I think, is if we can add one guy that makes a difference on the defensive line, I think we are the team in the NFL to beat to win the Super Bowl. I'm very confident after watching the first two games that I can say that. I think Casey looked extremely average this week, playing against a really mediocre Chargers team.
Yeah, they did not look good. Nothing special.
They squeaked out a victory in the last 2 minutes.
And there's a lot of other teams playing with a ton of injuries.
And
so many.
That's one of the things I like about the Seahawks. We played a pretty good Pats defense this week.
Yeah.
And put up 35. And let's say one of the top 3 offenses in the league, the Kansas City Chiefs, played a mediocre Chargers team and put up 17, 20? Maybe they kicked a field goal to get 20 at the end of the game. But like at halftime, they're down 14-7 or 6.
They won 23-20. So by a field goal.
I think they're on 14-6 at halftime. Anyway.
But yeah, like those two defenses, you can't even compare them, right? Like you were saying, the Patriots is easily top 5 and Chargers are whatever, middle of the pack.
Middle, yeah. It's very cool as a Seahawks fan to see how efficient this offense is.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's so like
so many weapons. It's insane.
How many negative plays do we have?
I don't know.
Not
much,
so
man.
Looking at their offense this week, much more balanced than week 1, which is I'm on the fence about, because I think in an ideal scenario when we're playing really good teams, we should probably throw the ball 35 times and run the ball 20 to 25 times a game. Whereas this week, Russell Wilson threw the ball 28 times and we ran the ball 30 times. So it was pretty dead even. It's so what I'm saying is, like, it's cool to see having success in different ways on offense. Whereas, like, let's say a team like Atlanta, historically, Matt Ryan throws the ball 57 times every single game, and that's the only way they could possibly win a football game.
100%.
Whereas the Seahawks threw the ball 35 times last week and 28 times this week. They ran the ball last week 20 times, I think.
It was so little.
Super low.
Yeah.
And then ran the ball 30 times this week, 2 big wins.
You've got options.
It's so versatile, man.
Yeah.
It's so, like, I said this last week, but I've never seen an offense this dynamic. And it's extremely exciting.
It's extremely
Now they're
exciting.
throwing balls to Chris Carson. He's going long. He's my best receiver on my fantasy team. I was telling Denny earlier.
That's insane.
And then Carlos Hyde is getting touches and Homer's getting touches. Everyone's getting in.
Everybody's getting in. 5 touchdowns, 5 different people. Like, come on.
I don't think people get, like, there's numerous different conversations we can have about giving Russell Wilson credit, but look at like the stat line this week, and look at guys like Chris Carson on a mediocre football team. Let's say he rushes the ball 20 times a game, 22 times a game. He's not given the opportunities to catch the ball and make plays with a mediocre quarterback, with a middle of the line quarterback. With Russell Wilson, Wilson is making Chris Carson a fucking superstar. How are NFL analysts not understanding this? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's true.
He's the best player in the league by far. Mahomes has potential to reach Russell Wilson level. He's not, in my opinion, he's not in the same caliber right now, today.
No.
If you want to win a Super Bowl in 2021, which is like 5 months from now. Just to clarify, not next season, this fucking season,
It's 4 months.
Russell Wilson is the best player in the league to make that happen, I think.
Yep. I think if I was, and this is not just me being biased to Russell Wilson, but any team if I was to pick a team and have a dream team, I'm picking Russell Wilson number 1 over Mahomes.
Even right now, today.
Even right now over today. And the only reason I say that is because he's a team player, and I still feel like Mahomes is a little arrogant and in his own head, and it's more about him than it is about the team.
So just like, I guess Mahomes, like his team chemistry isn't there, right? Like he doesn't bring a team together like Wilson does.
Yeah, and I think now they've got the ring.
Yeah. He's going to coast a little bit.
They've spent so much money on him. It's going to fall apart.
It's going to be hard to get weapons around him eventually, right down the line when guys leave.
You're just going to have to get older weapons because you're going to have to get older weapons that don't cost as much, and that's going to catch up to you.
I guess Kansas City's just going for it, right, for the next few years. Championship or bust, yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
What's our schedule? Did you look the schedule up?
I have it.
Do we have any Monday night games?
Monday night
They're
games.
definitely going to have Monday night
Yeah,
games.
I know. How many? Gotta have more than one.
In a season? No. Yeah. I'd say max 2, but probably 1.
Not many.
I'll take your time.
I'll take my time.
I'll give you a minute. While you talk about that, Carl.
It's so hard.
So again, like I know we're all over Russell Wilson's D, and I think it's okay because of how talented this guy is. But look at the stat line of the receivers. There was 1, 2. There was 7 guys that had receptions. There was 5. He threw for 5 touchdowns. 5 different guys had touchdowns.
Yeah.
So 1, it talks about the this how good Russell Wilson is. But 2, it talks about how many weapons we have, man.
Well, it's gonna screw defenses up when they don't know who they can't double coverage anybody.
You
can't.
If you are a defense that has 2 smaller corners, you're fucked because you can't double cover DK Metcalf because Lockett is phenomenal. David Moore had one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was insane.
If that's not the catch of the year or in the top 3, it makes no sense. That was one of the best catches I've ever seen. So
he stayed in.
I was thinking about last year. And early in the year, Lockett had that catch in the end, in the back of the end zone. Remember we were at that game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Russell Wilson was scrambling and Lockett just flies to the back corner of the end zone. And Wilson just tosses it where no one can catch it. And Lockett made that drag the foot catch. This one was almost better because his body did a 360 and he dragged his foot behind him. It was, if you haven't seen the replay, you need to watch the replay really closely. It was
that
unreal.
He still kicked the pylon and was still able to keep his foot in.
I heard rumors preseason that he wasn't even supposed to make the roster.
I know.
So you heard that
Probably
too, right?
not.
I think it was between him and Urshua.
Yes. Yeah. So I really hope he uses that just to develop, and just get a flame under him.
He's a great third guy, man. Solid hands. He makes a lot of plays. I can't remember him making drops and us being upset about it.
Consistency, right? It's the only thing you can really ask for.
Totally.
So the other Monday night game that we have, it's only one other one this year, and it's against the Eagles on November 30th.
That's the only Monday night game.
The only one for the
It's
Seahawks.
when, sorry?
November 30th, week 12.
You usually only get one a year.
Week 12.
I think
November
last year we
30th.
had 2.
That's danger zone of baby arriving. Hopefully it doesn't arrive yet.
We should do
Podcast.
We need some equipment.
in the hospital.
Live podcast from the waiting room.
Just do lapel
Lindsay will be
mics.
super happy about that.
Lucas, what's his name? Is it Russell?
Yeah.
Is it DK?
It's win.
It's a boy, right?
It's a boy.
It's a boy, yeah.
Do you guys think anyone in the NFL can cover Metcalf one-on-one?
No.
God, no. That guy's a beast. He's a man-child.
It's the same as Megatron. What's his name? Calvin Johnson.
Exactly.
So you think he's just a freak generational kind of talent?
Dumb.
As long as
what
his
are you
work
gonna do?
ethic is there, he could be really, really, really good.
What are his stats? He's 6'5", 240.
And you saw the moment where he kind of lost it on the sidelines. Great, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it when people are that passionate. And then you saw Carroll came up to him and chatted with him and just calmed him down.
Yeah.
That's the leadership between Carroll and Wilson. to mentor Metcalf,
Yeah.
it's guaranteed one of the best 1-2 punches in the league for years to come.
Dude, his ability to change speed is unbelievable.
He's
At his
so
height and his size, it's crazy. He's like 6'4", 240.
Did you see his touchdown catch?
Yeah.
So I don't know if people that like
He had to
haven't
slow
played-
down.
So that's the thing.
He
So I don't know
outran
if
the
people
ball.
that haven't played football really can understand and respect how good of a football move that was. But like as a receiver, when the ball's in the air and it's slightly underthrown, just slowing down and putting your body in the way and then like allowing the ball to lead you basically is such a hard thing to do in game, right? You're
But
running
also-
full speed.
Think about how far he ran to outrun the ball and how fast Russell Wilson throws that ball. He's fast. Like, what's his 40? His 40's got to be like...
I don't think it's gonna be that impressive. I think it's impressive because he's such a big dude, but compared
because
to
he's got top
compared to
top end
Lockett,
speed,
like,
but
He needs probably a couple steps to get it going, right?
yeah,
But,
yeah. But so does Usain Bolt.
It says 4.33.
that's
Nothing to
insanity.
laugh.
That's insanity.
Nothing to laugh at, boys.
Look at Lockett's. 'Cause,
Wow.
like Lockett's one of the fastest guys in the league, and I was gonna say his was 4.3.
Let's see here.
There's not many guys that are under 4.3.
No.
He's at 4.31, I think.
Oh, barely.
So like right
That's
there.
insanity. But at the same time, you got to take into account Metcalf's steps are probably 1.5 of what Tyler Lockett's are.
True. And the muscles on him, like that guy is a beast. It's insane.
While we're so, I know we were talking about defense. I just want to throw out and talk about a couple injuries on defense that we had. Bruce Irvin's out for the year. Kind of sucks because we're already very thin in the defensive line. Marquise Blair also out for the year, which sucks.
Blair's out for the year?
Yeah.
What happened?
They haven't announced exactly. All they said was he will be having knee surgery, which sucks. He's a young guy that like they had a lot of excitement for this year.
Yeah.
And he played a lot in the nickel package. And with Diggs getting disqualified early in the game,
my
he was
God.
supposed to play
That
a lot,
was a
but
dumb play, Diggs.
can we
That was
can
a
we
dumb
give our
play.
thoughts about that?
It was a stupid play. It was a mental error that did not need to happen. He could have avoided that.
Yeah, I agree.
100% could have avoided that.
I think it was a right call. It's just a
I
dumb
think it was the
play.
right call too. You can't like
He's even 2 steps out. You just lower your head. You just lose the guy essentially.
didn't need to do that. Period.
No.
So,
But I mean, it's so hard, obviously, in real time.
It's so fast, right?
It's so fast, but at the end of the day, at least no one was injured because that would have been a different story.
I have some thoughts. I think it should be a penalty.
Yes,
I think it should be a 15-yard penalty.
but not disqualification.
The judgment of disqualification to me, I'd like to make a few points on. 1, it is essentially impossible as a defender who's running full speed to try to make a play, see the receiver, lean and put your head down to avoid how are you supposed to avoid contact when you're running full speed? First point. Second point, receivers need to fucking like pick up their shit too, right? Like it's on you a little bit. If you're falling straight forward and putting your head forward, how is someone not supposed to hit you in the head?
I would say
Third point.
Yeah.
Third point. The people making the judgment on this in New York likely have never played football in their lives. So
That's
they're like
probably true, dude.
65-year-old white dudes, probably, that maybe played high school football, not even near the athletic ability that these dudes are playing at and how quick this game is. I dropped the can. That's why it's bent.
That's the can you gave me.
Oh, mine's bent too.
You gave me
I dropped the
can
4-pack,
that
it broke.
dropped. Anyways.
So my question to both of you is, what is a defender supposed to do when a guy is running a slant pattern, leans forward and puts his head down? What are you supposed to do?
I get it.
Are you supposed to bear hug him? Are you supposed to dive to the side? What are you supposed to do? What is the correct football move?
Bite his ankles.
I agree that it's a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if in full speed what you can change to avoid that. Like the way that someone makes a football tackle as a safety, like you're always running forward, right? You run forward and you put your head down and your shoulder and you try to hit someone with your shoulder. If the receiver puts their head down into your head, like what are you supposed to do?
Well, because
I'd have to watch the play again, but I didn't see him make any effort to try to change his shoulder. I just felt
But you
like
have to understand that it's a 0.1 second that he has to make that decision.
I
right?
get it.
It's not 3 seconds.
Maybe it was just.
There's a little bit of lining up, man. He's got a few steps into it. I see what
But
you're saying.
his job as a safety is to try to disrupt the pass, right?
For sure.
So if the guy catches the ball up here, he hits him in the chest and potentially causes an incompletion, right? But the guy leans over and puts his head down.
So you're saying the guy put his head in front of his chest so he couldn't go chest to chest. So essentially he's dictating what happens.
I think I don't know what the NFL wants safeties to do.
Right.
It's always safeties that are in this position, right? Corners are always running backwards. They're not making plays like this. It's safeties that are in this
Lining
position.
people up,
and
right?
what are they supposed to do? I want someone to say what they're supposed to do. Like if a receiver is running a slant pattern, should it just be a touch football game? Like if you run a slant and you catch the ball, it's just touch? Like you're not allowed to get hit? What's the rule?
But it's also up to the offensive quarterback, like the quarterback, right, to lead his receiver and put him in a good position.
Exactly.
So that's tough because you're getting punished for not being in a good position, but then you're getting ejected for making a hard ass tackle.
So that's my beef, Carl. Again, because of how it happened head to head, I think it should be a penalty. The disqualification from a game for something like that has, let's say, 50% to do with you, 50% to do with other factors.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
It's just tough to put it all on one person, right? Do you
It
think,
is, but
if he lifts his head and goes more face mask, do you think it's okay?
I don't know what the is he
I don't
supposed
know.
to just fall down and is he supposed to bear hug people?
Is there like certain
What
parts
is
of
he
the
supposed to
helmet
do?
where they can't touch? I don't know. And like Lucas was saying, it happens so fast, right? It's just step, boom, boom.
It does
It's
happen
tough.
so fast. I think that Diggs just if he reacted differently after the play, he may not have gotten this disqualification, but there was no like remorse for like, oh shit, sorry man. Like, and I get it. It was like in his mind he did nothing wrong, but you have to know you just went head to head. And why not just be like, sorry bro, hopefully you're not dead and concussed. Like there was a nanosecond from somebody getting really hurt there.
But the NFL loves these rules. Like they kind of decide on the spot. Like the whole quarterback thing last year, right? Like, can you touch the quarterback? Can you hit him? Whatever. It's kind of the same thing. Like the NFL should step up and make a final decision and just let everyone know what they're looking for exactly, right? It can't just
changes. The NFL changes on the dime though.
They're just
always
like,
changing
but like you
something.
said, it's probably like a group of old guys just hanging out, talking, and just deciding, right? They're not even at the game or anything. It's tough.
I highly doubt they've ever played football at a high level.
No.
It's just old people. I don't need to say white, just old people.
Probably white.
Is what it is.
Suits.
So that's that was kind of what I was annoyed about. And I thought about it a lot today, actually, of like, should I even make this comment or not? I know that like, let's say half a centimeter off hits this guy in the temple and it's like a really serious injury. So should you make that comment? But at the same time, like
It's football.
this is a ridiculous sport, right? This is part of the sport.
Crazy.
I get it.
And safeties, this is their job,
Yeah.
right? Their job is to hit people to make them drop the ball, right?
I think they just really, really, really want to get that play out of the game some way, somehow. And
the play is not Quandre Diggs' fault.
No,
right?
I know.
The play is
they just
is
want the
throw from
helmet to
quarterback.
helmet out of the game because they're clearly getting sued for a ton of fucking money.
But that changes everything because like when you're a little kid playing football, everything is helmet first, right? You put your helmet in his chest, helmet to helmet
But
to
is
make a
it now
tackle.
the same?
It's
I don't know.
probably
Are they changing it?
What do you like shoulder?
Was it like
everything
hockey?
shoulder first?
But is it like hockey where you grew up and it was
People are
just
adapting?
like just pile drive the guy into the boards, and now all the kids have a stop sign on their back, like stop, don't hit me. Like, are they changing that stuff? I don't know.
So it's
like,
going more towards shoulder to shoulder kind of things, and not leading with your head?
Honestly, I have no clue. Yeah. I'm just wondering if it is, because they're obviously, unless they change it throughout the year, they're setting the precedent that this year they're penalizing the play, not the result of the play.
Right. Yeah,
so
he didn't get injured or anything.
He didn't get injured. He got up and they went and played. There was no concussion protocol, nothing. Mm-hmm. So they just straight up penalized the play. But are they going to keep that going for next game and throughout the year? I mean, that's what we got to figure out.
So
because if it was a result, if we wouldn't be talking about this if the guy was concussed, injured, and taken off on stretcher, would we still be talking about it?
I would still talk about it. And again, like, it's an unfortunate part of football that people get injured, right? Like,
of course.
Marquise Blair out for the season, Irvin out for the season, from things that they can't control. What I'm trying to understand is something that I don't think is 100% controllable by the person hitting, right? Like, let's say the ball was, instead of being out here, it was 2 feet higher thrown. Now the receiver's reaching here, and Quandre Diggs is hitting him in the chest, in the side.
Exact same hit.
And he causes an incompletion, and people are cheering, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Quandre
he's
does nothing
not looking at the ball, right?
Yeah.
He's looking, the ball's thrown, I need to make a play right here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not judging whether the ball is like at waist level or at head level.
Or where the guy's helmet is.
It's happening too fast. You can't make that decision.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell has a quote here. He's like, helmet, they want to use helmets as protection and go away from it being used as a weapon. But like, the helmet is the hardest thing on your body. Running backs put their heads down. Everyone puts their head down, right? How can you do that? I think it's going to be an issue for the rest of the year. I think we're going to see, this is going to come up again.
I also have a problem with the rule because it's used specifically for safeties, right? The only way that people are getting disqualified is on those crossing patterns where they're coming into the middle of the field and safeties are hitting them. Mm-hmm. When running backs are running down the line, and whoever, any position player, a linebacker, is hitting them in the head, it's not getting called. It's only on the receivers.
The defenseless receivers.
But that's probably the most hard time to actually time that tackle, right?
100%, yeah.
When a running back is running at you, he's already got the ball. You can see him from a second away.
Right.
It's different.
And a wide receiver has to get up and make a play, right? You don't know where he's going to be.
You don't know where he's leaning, right? Yeah. To catch the ball. I don't know. I feel like it's almost getting to a point where it's going to go the other direction and defensive backs are not going to know what to do. So they're going to slow up and then they're going to be getting injured because they're like going half speed because they don't know what to do and they're scared of getting fucking fined and thrown out of games. On that note, Quandre Diggs was apparently not fined and not suspended. No, what did they say? Not suspended, but they're talking about a fine. So he's going to play next week, but they're not talking about a fine. Anyway.
As long as he plays next week.
Yeah, man. On D, it would be really nice to see them pick up someone on the D line.
Yeah, I wonder if they're like, we need something. And maybe we just need another game under our belt. I mean,
honestly, I think the game on defense, they had to make a lot of on the fly decisions because early in the game, Diggs got thrown out in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Then Blair comes in, I think in the second quarter, tears his ACL or whatever it is, knee surgery. He's out for the game. So like, I feel like they couldn't use Adams like they wanted to last week because Diggs wasn't there to back him up. So they had like a 4-string safety in.
So do you think they were not blitzing as much and just playing it safer?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which hurts the defensive line, right?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas last week, it felt like they got a little bit more pressure on Matt Ryan than this week.
It's just the blitz package was more varied and you just saw more things. That's a good point, man. Mm-hmm. So Marquise Blair is out for the rest of the year? We don't know that for sure.
According to social media, Blair and Irvin are done for the year.
Both ACL injuries, eh?
I didn't hear what Blair's injury was specifically. They just said he's undergoing knee surgery this week.
If it was ACL, how many ACLs are blown in the NHL or NFL this year?
Saquon Barkley blues. Oh man, so many.
Mac, week before.
Last week, yeah. Big names too.
Big names.
Can we talk about Russ before we make some predictions for next week?
We trash the 49ers too and how bad
Yeah,
they're
fuck you 49ers fans.
All
Congratulations,
injured.
you're 1-1. Good for you. You beat the fucking Jets. Tell Greg Adams to go fuck himself when you're on the sideline next time.
Hey, Greg.
Greg, I think Jamal Adams is going to be okay this year. He's going to be happy winning football games. It's going to be exciting for him.
It's gonna be a new thing, and I think he's gonna go well. It's gonna go.
Seems like he's enjoying it, Greg. You tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
Anyways, what were we saying?
Russ. So Russell Wilson this week was 21 for 28, 275 yards, 5 touchdowns, passer rating 132. So last week he had a passer rating of 148, I think. This week 132. So he's only averaging 139.
Yeah, which
140.
It's not too bad, but
I mean, it's suspect, yeah. He's got 9 touchdowns. What did he have last week? 4? 9 touchdowns and like 600 yards passing in
It's insane.
2 games. So all you MVP haters who hate the Seahawks, go fuck yourself. We don't need that award. We're going to beat your ass in the Super Bowl.
and it's not like he's using one person. Like there's not one star. It's
That's
so
the exciting
balanced.
part, man. That's the really exciting part about this offense is like Hyde looks like a really good second option. 5 carries for 20 yards. Carson's a beast, man. Like I don't know. Is he top 5 in the NFL? I'm not sure. I don't know if he's top 5.
Like as a
But he's
running
a
back,
really
or-
good running back.
As a wide receiver right now, he is.
Exactly.
Maybe as a total offensive option, he's really
He's
Yeah, totally yards.
coming
He's
into
up
his
there.
own.
yeah. And like any football season, it's all about injuries. Like how healthy can you stay? But I feel like if the Seahawks offense is healthy and Penny comes back,
Yeah.
who I heard is ahead of schedule. So let's say week 5, week 6, he's back. Like
It's a deadly 1-2 combo.
it's just another big weapon. Like Penny's probably a top 20 guy in the league. He starts on other teams.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then the receiving core is,
When is he coming back?
what's the guy's name that didn't play again this year?
Josh Gordon.
No, I haven't heard if he's
I don't
actually
know
coming
anything
back or
about that
not.
guy either.
So
But we're still waiting for the
Dorsett.
NFL on that, aren't we?
Dorsett.
Dorsett. Did he not play?
No, he's some sort of injury, leg injury or something. He's been out for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was inactive this week.
But he would probably be our third guy ahead of Moore.
Mm-hmm.
They picked him up from Detroit or something?
In Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, okay. Fuck, man. The NFL is so much fun right now.
It's so much fun. Especially with
It's so
offenses
good.
going off.
It's so good. I was really hoping Casey would lose then. Because, like, again, with these bullshit power rankings, not that I really care. I just think it's hilarious. Like, it has to be a joke. Someone had the Seahawks at number 8 this week.
Really?
Going into week 2,
Can we trash that guy right now? Who was it?
number 8. And then there's others that
Number
have them at,
8.
like, they have shit teams ahead of us. Carl, maybe look up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they probably had Buffalo for no reason.
One of them had Buffalo ahead of us.
Yeah.
Like,
So
people
on,
just-
on NFL rankings right now, they have the Seahawks as 5th.
5th.
Baltimour's
So
number
Baltimore,
one.
Kansas City, New Orleans.
San Fran, and then us.
They have San Fran. Come on.
they have San Fran after losing week 1.
Maybe it's not updated after this week. Let's see.
There's no way.
Ooh,
It's,
NFL power rankings.
That's crazy.
There was one. I can't remember which one it was. CBS?
brutal.
Like, this is
I found
fucking
it.
comical, man. Here.
I found it, yeah.
You
I found one
it?
too. CBS Sports has
CBS Sports.
the
Written by who?
Chiefs who looked like garbage this week. Garbage. Like, really, really mediocre. Then the Packers.
The Packers?
And then the Saints. Then the Steelers.
We're just like, oh, Big Ben's back. Let's put him up there, top 3.
Dude, the Steelers are probably going to finish like every year for the last 6 years at like 9-7.
Yeah.
Every fucking year. Then the Ravens, then the Bills, then the Seahawks.
Crazy.
What is happening here, guys?
Dan Hanzus, what are you doing, buddy?
You know what? We don't give a fuck about them. We're just going to keep winning football games. We're going to keep pounding people. And
Let's power dial
we
this
don't give a
Dan
shit.
Hamzus.
You can rank us number 7 all you want, dudes.
Yeah.
When you win the Super Bowl, it's hard to fucking rank people number 7 when they win Super Bowls.
That's brutal. 8 in the power.
You guys want to talk about the Cowboys or
the
Let's
hell
talk
is
about the
happening?
Cowboys here.
Where are the Cowboys ranked in the power in this bullshit power?
probably
rankings?
number 1, dude?
Yeah, right. Cowboys 14.
Cowboys.
You know the best thing about this power rankings? This is the best thing, guys, out there. So this is after week 2 because it shows the Seahawks is 2-0. They're number 7 on this thing, and they went up 3 spots. So they're number 10 going into the year.
Jeez.
Are they paying attention to the same like NFL league that I'm paying attention to?
I think they it can ignore a few teams.
What the hell is happening here?
Okay, when's our game this weekend?
1:30 Sunday afternoon.
Can we make
You know who started ahead of us this year? Fuck the CBS. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are 0-2. In week 1, were ranked number 8.
Did you hear Carson
And
Wentz
the
get
Seahawks
booed
were number
in an
10.
empty stadium?
You got booed?
In an empty stadium.
Shut up.
I guess someone got in there and started booing.
Are you
Philadelphia,
fucking kidding me, man?
That is hilarious. It was probably a drone with a microphone on it.
But Philadelphia is one of those teams that people just fucking love.
The Bucks were ahead of us. The 49ers were ahead of us, who look garbage. Man, you guys suck. Anyway. All right. Carl, thank you so much for the beer tonight. Carl lost our bet last week, guys.
Yep.
And we have made an executive decision that the loser, who is the farthest away from points every week, has to bring beer for the following week, which is an exceptional idea, I think.
I think it's an amazing idea. What were the scores? What was the difference in scores?
So I was minus 10. What was Lucas?
I think you were minus 11. I think you were one off.
Fuck you, Lucas. 1-0, bro. Just like Jason Myers. 11-0.
Fucking bullshit.
I guess we don't need a preseason for teams to drop 40
Let's
points.
talk about what your score was for a
No,
second.
that's gone. What score?
What was yours?
Mine was really low. Mine was like 31-17 or something. I was way off.
All right. You ready to rock? You got anything else?
This is a big prediction this
You got
week.
anything else, Lucas?
Yeah, fuck Myers.
That's it? All right.
That's it. Every text. I just want to see him kick a field goal. The guy hasn't even had a chance to kick a field goal. They're afraid to let him kick the ball. What does that tell you?
Do you guys want loser from last week to pick first or last for this week?
Oh, we should continue this throughout the season.
Continue what? This game?
We should probably let the loser pick first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So it'll go you, then Lucas, then me.
Okay, well, since there's no defense being played in the NFL this year, I'm going to go over, and I'm going to say
What are the points?
the Seahawks win.
Is there points out? Yeah, there's not points.
Yeah.
What are you going over?
Oh,
probably-
over?
They probably
They
have
won't be out
spreads.
yet. Are they already? Spreads? Spreads got to be like 4 points, 3 points.
They never give Seahawks big spreads.
No,
It's
Seahawks
always
3
3 or 4.
points.
It's
Seahawks-
it's in
Seahawks-
Dallas, right?
No, it's in
No,
the
it's
Seahawks.
Sorry.
yeah.
So Seahawks are 4.5 point favorites.
4 points, okay.
So fuck, man. I'm going final score 41-35.
Oh, wow.
Fucking lights
going
You're
out.
picking
over.
Dallas? What's wrong with you?
No, Seattle.
Yeah, I'm joking. Would you say 41 to what?
35. I'm
Holy shit, you're
pissed.
thinking 70 plus points on the board. Holy shit. You know how long? Wow. 41?
I think I'll be closer than my picking under, picking regular scores.
Watch it be
big
like
numbers.
a 13 to 12 game.
Yeah, dude, watch.
Defensive duo. I'm gonna say Seahawks. I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say 31 because I'm gonna give Myers an opportunity to kick one field goal to 4 Russell touchdowns. To 24. 23.
31 to
24.
31 to 24. Okay.
31 to 24.
Danny.
38-24.
Okay. Kind of right in between.
That I had that in my head from literally yesterday. I was thinking about the score.
Do you think Myers is going to kick a field goal too?
38-24.
Wow.
Do the Seahawks break 30 points every game this year?
They have the opportunity to.
I'd need to look at it. No, I don't think so.
Couple teams, yeah.
Yeah, there's divisional games against Arizona and San Fran. We play them both twice that are always a grind. So there'll be.
When do we play San Fran? Because
Their
right now
offense
they're
is
garbage.
so exciting, Carl, that like that could be a thing.
I know, yeah.
It could be. But at the same time, I think they play those games a little differently. And I wouldn't be surprised, especially like depends on an injury. Like let's say Lockett is out for 3 weeks or something with a sprained ankle or something.
Makes a difference.
Totally. Huge.
Do you think defenses start getting better as the season goes on? Kind of figure out what teams are running, their go-tos, whatever. Because we were talking about this earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Does no preseason hurt the offense more or the defense?
I know we were. I think defense.
Well, currently, it's hurting the defense. I think, for sure.
I think so too.
I think it's just the conditioning to get out there and constantly. Those are big guys out there.
Like my comment was defense is more schematic. Yeah. Like there's more strategy, whereas like on offense, the athletes will win even on a broken play, right?
Yeah.
Broken play, Russell Wilson will just make something happen. Yeah. And like guys like Lockett or Metcalf or Carson out of the backfield are so athletic they can just make they can get open.
Because defense, you're making reads, right? You're guessing.
Totally. And defense matters so much. Disagree with this if you want, but I think defense matters so much more on the guys around you than on one individual, right?
100%. Oh, yeah. Because you got to work as a team, as a system, right?
Totally. Like if someone, if you're running cover 2 and someone like thinks they're playing man or something, the whole defense is fucked.
Yeah.
Whereas like on offense, if one receiver runs the wrong pattern,
you don't notice it.
Wilson's just checking down to the next guy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you looked at our schedule?
Yeah.
We have an opportunity of going like...
It's difficult to start the season and then it gets really easy in the middle.
Yeah, there's like 2 games that we have an opportunity to like be tough. Like the Rams will be tough. We play them twice.
Well, we play every division.
Well, actually playing them 3 times.
No, you play them twice.
Sorry, no, we play them twice.
Definitely not 3 times.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at this wrong.
We got the football team on the 20th.
Rams are the only ones that I'm thinking that they could split the series with. Bills, fuck the Bills.
Here's a legitimate question. Do you think at any point in the season
Washington will have a team name?
Washington will have a name.
You've had 10 years to come up with a name.
We should send them suggestions at least. Like something needs to happen.
Can't just be called the football team.
Guys, anything.
So
oh my gosh.
Man, I mean like honestly, we don't have an easy schedule. Like
you don't think so?
No.
What are you talking about?
Look at the Cowboys who are pretty
Cowboys
good
is the toughest game.
But then we play Miami, which is shit.
That's a win.
I think the Vikings are better than they've shown the first 2 weeks based on last season. And then the Cardinals who are 2-0. Then the Niners who are always better. But they always play better against the
Niners
than they do.
Done though. Garoppolo's out, Bosa's out.
And then the Bills, who CBS.com ranks like number 1.2 in the league, which is great. Good for you guys. And then the Rams, and then the Cardinals again, and then the Eagles, which CBS ranked ahead of us. And then the Giants who are shit, the Jets who are shit. That's going to be a fun week. That's going to be a great month. You know what? December is going to be a great month for Seahawks fans. We're playing the Giants, Jets, that team with no name.
49ers are done for the year. Kittle's out, Bosa's out, Garoppolo's out, Sherman's out. Like, they're fucked.
Garoppolo's out?
Yes. Sherman, Garoppolo, Bosa, Kittle. They have nobody in their lineup. Like, they're fucked.
So they're going to finish last in the division.
Guys, I'm just out here trying to buy a Washington football team jersey.
Right. What does it even look like?
It just says football team on the front. It's friggin' sick.
That has to be a joke, right?
What do you mean? That's their actual name right now.
It says football team.
The t-shirts are Washington. It says football team underneath.
Oh my God.
Man, that's bad.
And like the actual jerseys don't have a team name on them. It's just...
You know what?
Washington.
Can we get the fucking old white guys sitting in New York to figure out a fucking name for these guys?
Stop saying that, Denny.
Why?
Just
old NFL guys.
There you go. Thank you.
Can we get the old NFL guys to figure out a name in New York? Why can't they pick a name?
Because they all
I'm
want-
just envisioning this like committee, whoever they are, because I would really appreciate a camera in there.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall? Yeah.
You have to be able to hear the conversations. If they're fucking disqualifying people from games, the conversations have to be public.
Like, guys, are we actually going to run with the football team
Because
for
it
another
could be
week?
so biased.
Well, we started the season, so we might as well finish it this way.
How do we know that it's not biased? How do we know that they're not all Patriots fans and they're just like, yeah, fucking disqualify that guy, get him out of here?
Just hanging out with Robert Kraft?
We need to
Could
hear
be.
those conversations.
What's the point
lobby
of
for that shit?
What's the point of masks? Like, why even wear them now?
Oh, also
Obviously
with
there's no
that
point.
shit.
Like,
And then you're high-fiving your players and everything.
you're already in the bubble. Like,
Yeah.
like that guy wearing the mask 2 feet from the guy.
The NFL sent a memo out this week.
I know, but none of them are following it. Look at
coaches
all the
need to wear
coaches.
masks.
They're not wearing it though.
and all the coaches are like,
Did
go
you
fuck yourself.
Did
I'm
you see
trying to win a football
Belichick's
game.
mask?
No.
He had the P95 or whatever, but it was like folded up, so it was just like over his nose.
He
And he
folded
was
the
like
bottom
this.
up to on his nose, so it looked like he was wearing it, but
It looked
he was
like
not
a
wearing it.
pelican. No, looked like a parrot.
I think everyone just goes face shield
Look at-
Andy Reid. If it gets too foggy, you stop coaching.
Gruden's not wearing it.
I didn't know his son was a coach.
Belichick,
Steve
yeah.
Belichick?
All,
That was a
how have
deadly
we not
mullet.
talked about that dirty mullet, man?
That mullet was unreal. Wow.
Did you see it, Carl?
Oh, yeah. That guy's pounding beers after the game for sure. For sure.
Someone asked him in a press conference if he like has thought about going somewhere else, like leaving his dad. And his comment was, haven't got an offer.
At least he's honest.
How long has he been? Is he just? I didn't even know he was the coach there. How long has he been the coach?
I think he's been around for
He's
a
been
few
around
years.
forever, yeah.
But this year I don't know if this is his first year, but he's calling the defense this year.
Last year, when that guy went to Detroit, I believe that's when he got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So is he the defensive coordinator? He is. Okay. Fuck. All right. I'm pumped for next week, man. Man,
Me too.
it seems like I have a certain energy about me this year. I'm just excited about football. I don't know.
Are you all in?
Dude, man.
Championship or bust?
Dude. I feel like
we're on the right path. Like there's been
I think it'll be so comparatively to the last decade, it seems like the Seahawks teams are notorious for being down at halftime and having to come back.
yeah.
And now it seems like the offense is too good and we're allowing Russell Wilson to just do his thing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if we're down in a game late.
Right.
Based on our schedule, I don't think it's going to happen for a while. But like, who knows? You never know. If football's such a weird sport, man.
It's so
such a weird sport that like something as simple as a out pattern hits a guy in the face mask and bounces straight up in the air and gives the other team 7 points.
Yeah, right there. Because the score at one point was 28-14, right? If it's 28-7, that's such a difference.
It's huge.
From 3 scores behind,
Yeah.
different game. That was fun.
Honestly, I talked to a couple people this morning who said Russell Wilson is better than they thought that he was. And they said last night's game was one of the funnest football games they've seen in a long time.
It was a good game.
Russell gets his fucking first vote this year?
I cannot believe
Dude,
he never had a
like,
vote.
Again, with the committee bullshit that I was just talking about,
Who gets these votes?
it has to be biased, man. It makes no sense. It's always biased towards the East Coast.
Always.
Always.
Or just central teams, those Packers, whatever, the big teams, right?
Yeah.
People just hate the Pacific Northwest, man.
He's been top 3 players in the league for 5 years. Last year, he was the best player in the league. Mahomes only played 6 games or something because he was injured a bunch. But there's like anyone that wants to make the comparison that Lamar Jackson is currently better than Russell Wilson, in 5 years from now, maybe you're correct. Currently, like, go fuck yourself. This is going to be an exciting conversation, and I'm excited to have it. Bring it on. Lucas, you want to have that?
But I'm on your side. Why are we
right.
having the conversation?
That's right. I just convinced him. Bring it on.
We're out.
Carl, last
And
question.
cut.
Last question.
Yes.
Next week, So we're all predicting higher scores. Lucas said 31 for the Seahawks. I said 38. You said 41?
We're in the 40s, baby. Yeah.
41. So that,
I said
let's
more.
say,
I didn't say 31, did I?
I think it's 31 to 24.
31. I said 31. Yes. You're right.
okay, so even
4
on the low
touchdowns
end,
and a field goal.
even on the low end,
I'm giving Myers a field goal.
hey, just let me ask
That's
this
a
damn
fucking
question.
win right
This
there.
is a good question.
What's taking so long? This is the longest question in
Because
history.
you're interrupting me.
Can you answer the question?
Even in Lucas's low score, that means Myers is kicking 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
In my score, Myers is kicking 6 or 7 times. In your score, Myers is kicking 7 or 8 times. Do you think he's perfect after next week? Go. Lucas, don't say anything.
Yes, I think the Myers train keeps going.
Boom.
No.
So we're going to be up to like 16 for 16, Lucas.
I say he misses one next week.
This is one.
Week 3 is the
Extra
one.
point or a long field goal.
He misses a field goal because he'll do whatever it takes to fuck me.